Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, episode 246. And in today's video, I'm going to show you harmonic minor and Phrygian dominant scale patterns and how to use them. So this is really cool. It's going to be a little speed workout right here, and you think you're going to appreciate this. And so the harmonic minor scale, we're going to be in the key of A here, A harmonic minor, and that's like this right here. We got the A minor, and then the A minor scale is like this. And when you play a harmonic minor, all you're doing is changing one note. You're going to change the 7th degree up a half step. So instead of going like this, actually let me give you a better look at this right here. Instead of going up to a normal 7th, you're going to go a half step up. Okay, so it sounds like this. Then the next octave's like this. Now, why do that? The main purpose of that is to sound cool. I mean, it's the harmonic minor scale, right? It sounds great. But technically, how most people use it and how we're going to use it today is that in a chord progression, when you go to a 5 chord, it's like an E7, like this. That's an E. It's a dominant chord right there. So what's happening in that E is that it's a major third in there. So that third is the raised 7th note of the A harmonic minor. So that's part of that chord. So if you played that chord and you played a regular minor, it wouldn't sound very good because you'd be playing over this chord. You'd be playing this, a minor, E minor 7. And that's not what the chord is. The chord is this. You know what I mean? So you would play it over that, just like that. Like that. Alright, so if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you're having a good time. I'll give you a round of applause. Let me know what you're drinking out there today. Got my Italian espresso beans, grinded and heated, of course. So now we got some cool patterns that I want to show you too. So it's 3 note per string patterns on single string riffs, like this right here. Check this out. I have a little loop here that I created. that's a little bit of the patterns we're going to get in here today. And Jeffrey Boyle, we got some Philadelphia from Philly. Give you a round of applause. Go Steelers. Sounding smooth like Carlos. All right. So I want to show you some patterns that are 3-note per string up the E string. Check this out. I'll show you a closer up. Look right here. So the E minor scale will be like this, starting on E. The A minor scale. All right. So you got the starting on E. Here's A minor. But like I was saying before, if you want to make it harmonic minor, you want to raise up the 7th degree. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that 7th degree is what makes E major. So, a cool pattern would be to go just 3 notes at a time up A minor. Or just minor. Now, you could also switch it up to play E harmonic minor, which would be just to raise the 7th there. So any questions about this stuff, please let me know. It's good to have a click on here as well. That's why I have this drum loop right here doing this like. something like that. So let me just show you this pattern here that I'm doing. It's just a triplet or sextuplet, I guess they call it, because it's 6 notes between every beat. So if I got a 1, 2, up the minor scale, you got here just A minor right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you got to up these 3 strings right here, A, B, and C. A, B, C. I'm going down. I'm alternate picking as well. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. And then, because it's a triplet feel, the next time it's going to be an up. So I got down, up. And I'm talking about the downbeats. Down, up, down. Down, up, down, up. Even though it's alternate picking, down, up, down, the second group of 3, it's going to be up, down, up. But I'm not really thinking too much about that because I'm alternate picking. But actually, it is good to think about that because you could, on the downbeats, you could have the think about your rhythm and get a little bit better. So pretty cool pattern right there. And so we're back to hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Any questions? Let me know. We got Zuziani. What's happening? What is the hi? Oh, hi. How you doing? Give you a round of applause. We're having some fun here today. Richard Grant Patriots are destroying the Steelers today. Wow. That's a tough one, huh? Man, you're just coming right at me with that one, huh? That's okay. Maybe you're right. We don't know until we play the game. That's why they play the game. From Paraguay, South America. All right. You know, I was in Chile, and that was a great time in Santiago. Just beautiful over there. God, I hope I can go back at some point. How often do I practice? I play a lot, but you know, stuff like this I don't really play all that much, and it probably shows. But I'm trying, and but it's a great workout. It's a great practice. These patterns that I'm going to attempt to show you here today. So let me go ahead and dive back in here again to the pattern. So we discovered that playing up the A minor scale over the A minor. Then when it goes to the E chord, we want to change that one note. Like this. Check it out. So we change that note. Same thing right there. So we're rocking today. Bobby! Give you a round of applause. What's happening? Who's that playing? Randy Rhoads or Tony Iommi or Jerry Cherry? That's very kind of you there. Thank you very much for that. So we're rocking out, and that's not the only pattern of the triplet, sextuplet. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Sextuplet. A sextuplet. One of the two. You could switch it up. To a instead of this pattern right here. Instead of this pattern. Instead of the you can go another pattern that I like to do a lot, like starting on the second note right here. So you're going up the scale that way. A little sloppy. It's harder down here. So you are starting on the second note. You're still going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's now it's the same thing. It's down, up, down, up, up. It's hard. So hopefully you're getting that one right there. Now over this pattern, it would sound something like this. So it's an interesting way, and it's an easy way to sound fast, right? I mean, you are fast, but it's a trick. Not really a trick. It's just a pattern that Yngwie Malmsteen used a lot, you know, and he just mastered that, right, with this Phrygian dominant scale, which is what this is. It's a Phrygian dominant scale is what it is when it hits the E. So it's a mode of the A harmonic minor scale. Check it out. Get this darn thing in tune, right? So let's see. A harmonic minor is what we've been playing right here. Or actually, there's lots of patterns and ways you could play it as well. But what happens is, over this progression, when you're playing A harmonic minor, when you get to that E, right, that's where you have that A flat right there. Okay, so the E chord is an E7. So I've played the A harmonic minor scale. Starting on the E, it's a mode of the harmonic minor. And it's called the E Phrygian dominant mode. And why it's called Phrygian dominant is because, say if it was regular A minor, and you played starting on the E, here's the E here, it would sound like this. It'd be a minor chord. Oops. Right there, B minor. But because it's a major chord, I'm raising it, the third. So now you have Phrygian dominant instead of just a regular Phrygian. Now you have a raised third. Right there, so you have it like that. So you're playing within the same scale shape right here, A minor. But you take that E, now you have that Phrygian dominant scale within that. So you could play it in the same pattern. So if you know the A minor scale, you just change the one note. When it hits the E7. So you watch. We'll play the pattern. So A minor scale. Harmonic minor. So I'm just changing according to that chord. Something like that. Surgical North. We got EA Sports. It's in the game. Man, I haven't played that in a long time. Madden, any of that stuff. So, any questions about this stuff, let me know. So, now that we know the harmony of it and how it works and where it works, and I'm showing you some patterns, and I've showed you this pattern right here already. This one, check it out. You know. I showed you this one. Now there's another one that we could do, and it's like starting at the top. Starting on Eli. How's it going? Nice strat. Thank you very much. Give you a round of applause. Thank you for that. So we did this pattern. Then we did this one. Then we got this one. So it's just reverse of this. You're descending. See how it sounds over this. Sloppy. It's a hard one. Tough one. It's a little fast, too fast of a tempo for me right now. Hard to do. Woo! Nice smooth. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough pattern right there. I thought it would be easier, but it's not. So I don't do this one a lot, this one. Really tough. As opposed to, in this one. You know. So, yeah, so there's trying to just kind of go through all these different types of patterns, like this way. And you could cycle around by doing something like That's kind of a cool one. Let's see. That's another one right there. Sergio North. Super stickers are 35 from Sergio North. Sergio North. Lemon character doing shoulder shiny dance moves. That is so cool. All right. $35. Super chat. Super sticker. Give you a round of applause for that. Oh my God. How cool is that? Thank you very much. I am so grateful for that. Thank you. If there's any questions or anything I could assist with, please let me know. But I like the lemon character doing shoulder shimmy dance moves. Yeah. Sounds like an emoji right there. Well, thank you very much for that. Very, very cool and grateful for that. Thank you. So, you know, the way this thing functions is through this A minor E7 chord progression. You know, you play the A harmonic minor scale over the E7. So, you know, you could think two ways about it. You could think about, you know, playing the E Phrygian dominant. Or you just play the A harmonic minor. But one thing to remember, over the A minor, you can play regular A minor. Regular A minor. Like a... One second. Over A minor, play regular A minor, or A minor pentatonic. And then a harmonic minor over the E chord. Like this. right, so A harmonic minor, A minor pentatonic, and over the E chord, I play A harmonic minor. Bummer. Compromiser. Close enough rock and roll? All right. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah. Happy Sunday to you. Dana Leitner. So good to see you. All right. So, we're doing some harmonic minor stuff here. A minor pentatonic over the A minor chord. Like this. And A harmonic minor. Going off the rails, playing the scale, just wailing away here. And hopefully you're getting something out of this right here. And thanks for spending some time with me here on a Sunday, which is very, very cool. First time back here on Sunday in a while. It's been doing Mondays. Right there, right? Close enough for rock and roll. So hopefully you're digging these patterns. I've got right here. And it's hard to get these smooth. I'm going to show you a little technique that I have for trying to get them really smooth here. Now, you know we're doing a alternate picking. You want to really try to keep your wrist straight like this. Nice Sunday for music. Morton, Pennsylvania. I'm trying to, as soon as I get to the next position, I'm really trying to stabilize it. Like with my pointer finger. That's the only one that's really locking down here. I'm holding it down with my pointer, and I'm playing with my next fingers, right? Then I'm shifting up. So now this new fret is the new position, right? So I'm trying to keep it relaxed, but trying to keep the right position so that I can play it smoothly and cleanly. So I'm using this as a stable, for lack of a better term, trying to stabilize my hand with just my pointer finger here. And then going down. Like that, right there. And I would recommend just playing it slow to a click first, even for myself. The harmonic minor. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, I will admit. I'm just going for it here on a super fast, speedy Sunday here. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. Any questions about this, please let me know. And, you know, it's good to do these all over the fretboard as well. Like when you're doing this this pattern right here. Right? I'm trying to think of, well, thinking of the intervals. Oh, thank you so much, Anthony Farish. Very cool. Love this Latin sounding rock. All right. Sounds like Illusions by Cypress Hill a little bit. Well, I don't know that one, Illusions. Do they have some rock guitar in their music, Cypress Hill? The only song I know by Cypress Hill is the, what's that one? It's the Insane in the Membrane. And I am quite a bit insane in the membrane. But we're having a good time here. Take two. But, you know, we want to think about the intervals and where we are with this. So, you know, it's like when we play the A minor pentatonic scale. I go to that E. I know that I'm trying to think of, well, there's different ways to think of it, but if it's a 1 of itself, you know that you got the 1, flat 2, major third. Then if you start on the 2, you have the 3, 4. You have the 4. No, it'd be the third. 2, 3, 4. You have the 3, 4, 5. You know you always have that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Always gonna be that minor 6 that. Sounds like an Eve thing right there, right? You know. So you have the 7th right there. So you always know that you have the raised 7th, right? Back to the E again. So you're not going to get lost that way. 1, 2, 3. Same thing with the A minor. You have the A, minor third, 5th, wherever you are. You know. I haven't really played with this much gain in a while. Those blues licks you play sound super seductive. Oh, I like that. Super seductive, like A minor. Does sound like YJM, Yngwie. Well, just this right here. Nope, it's not even that. That's the wrong note. I went to E harmonic minor by accident. It's regular 7th. E. Then you have the E, the 2nd degree. That's an A. Then over the E, you have oops. Yeah. Harmonic minor parts. And then Billy Gibbons. A mix between Billy Gibbons and Yngwie Malmsteen, right? Something like that. Love the songs by Yngwie Malmsteen, Judas Priest, Devil in Disguise. Yeah, that's good stuff. Always loved Yngwie myself. You know, I know a little bit of some of his songs. You know, like, but not gonna play them because I'll get copyright claims. But the ones like, you know, let me play that right. You know, and but yeah, going back to these patterns, you know, the proper technique, which is a good way to practice these, is to really kind of pivot, you know, get a good foundation of your pointer finger, and then find a good spot, picking spot, right here for alternate picking. And be as relaxed as possible. See, it's tougher right there. I find that the fatter the strings, the more relaxed and the wider you have to do your picking. Like up here on the E, the higher strings, like the E string and the B, a little bit easier. Once you get down to the D, it's a little bit, the strings are fatter, so you almost have to give your pick a little bit more space, a little wider. Meaning a little bit more attack this way. As opposed to up here with these strings, it's a little bit less, a little bit closer together because the string's thinner. I mean, it's such a minute difference, but the tension is different. You can feel it. It's tighter here, so it's not moving as much this way. But as you go down, the strings get fatter. I think they get a little bit floppier, the strings. So you could tell that when you're picking, it's not as tense right here. So you have to almost give it a little bit more wider of a pattern, of a stroke. Sloppy. You can do legato like that too. I'm only hitting one note. I don't know. I'm just trying to sound good here. It's taking a while. It's taking a while, right? How did you learn theory, Jerry? Well, I think when I first started taking guitar lessons, back when I was, my first real lessons, I was 17 years old. I've been playing for a couple years before that. And I was a teacher in South Florida named Wesley B. Wrights. And he was actually the original guitar player of the Miami Sound Machine, you know, all that stuff. And he was a very amazing guitar player. He knew a lot of theory. And he showed me, you know, some positions and modes. And he showed me all the modes, but I had no idea how to use them. It took years after that. Like, I missed the last lesson that I had from him. The next lesson would have been how to use them, because he showed me all the positions and the scales and everything. But it took me years to try to figure them out on my own. That's why I'm so passionate about showing them and teaching them, probably, because took me so long to figure them out on my own. And now on the internet, you could learn anything, right? But for years, while I was trying to learn them, I think I really had no idea. You know, I had my own idea of what they were, but it took a while to really understand. I'm still understanding them. It's a lifelong process, right? Which is great. It never ends. And so, great question. And your lute skills would yield you many fine maiden back in the Baroque era. And that'll keep you Baroque, that's for sure. Miami Sound Machine. Yeah, it was a great band. I'm not even sure they're still together right now anymore with them. They pretty much ruled Miami. Gloria Estefan. And her husband, I think her husband was a band leader and he was the bass player. Emilio. What's his name? Emilio Estefan? Or Emilio Estevez? Am I mixing them up? Estevez and Estevans? So, yeah, harmonic minor, really, really cool thing. You know, there's lots of ways to think about it and to use it and to apply it. The way we're doing it today is very common, very basic way of learning it too. I mean, there's so many songs that are, you know, what is it? Hotel California. You know, it leads up to it. That E. Because usually in A minor, E is a minor chord. Because if you want the minor scale, here's the E right here. Here are the chords of A minor. A minor, B, half diminished, or B minor 7 flat 5, half diminished. Here's an A, B, diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, back to A again, E minor. So it's like this. Let's see. It's like this. Sorry. A minor, B diminished, A minor, B diminished, C, D minor, E minor, F, G, back to A minor again. Same chords as in the key of C. C, A minor, B diminished, C, C major scale, so C, D minor, E, F, G, A, B diminished, C again. So if you got to that E, you notice that it's minor. But we're changing it. We're making it major. Now what's the difference? Well, here's that minor. Here's this note right here. It's a G. making it sharp, G sharp. And that's the only difference between the A minor and the A harmonic minor. Because you're going to play that A minor scale, play it with a G sharp instead of a G. And how's that work? Well, when you play that E major chord, well, it works. If you played E major and you still played the A minor, it'll be, you'd have that note over this note. It would sound wrong. It would sound like this, like a, it would sound, see if I could play it. It would be like this. That's what it would sound like with a G sharp. Not very good, right? This sounds better. Right? So you get the E arpeggio. Oh, one more last thing I want to show you too, that's just really cool about this. I'm beginning to think the modes sound most musical in context, but I have no idea how to use them. Well, this is one really good way of understanding the modes, is that this is a mode that we're doing here. Because we're playing the A minor scale, right? Over an A chord. When you go to an E7 chord, when you play that A minor scale, if you like do what I was saying and sharp the 7th, you're playing, or here, go back one step. If you played an E minor, if you played A minor, then you play E minor. When you play the A minor scale, it's an A minor, or an Aeolian mode, it's the same thing. When you go to that E chord, you're playing a Lydian now. I mean, a Phrygian. Because the bottom root chord and the chord rules. So it's E, an E minor chord, right? So that's what the band's playing, an E chord. But if you play that same scale, A minor, the foundation is E. So the E is the focus point. So even though you're playing A minor scale, that's the home note right now, the E. So whatever the intervals are of that E is what you're playing. And you got the E, you got the half step. So if I play an E note, I join an E, and I play an A minor scale everywhere on the neck. I played A minor with an E. That's a Phrygian sound. So that's a mode. That's a Phrygian, E Phrygian. Even though I'm playing the A minor scale. Watch, now I play the same scale with the A. That's A minor. Now the Phrygian, you're raising the G to a G sharp. So now I have something cooler sounding. It sounds like this. Right to A. That's the major stuff. You don't want to do that. So that's a cool, hopefully you understand where I was going with that one, with the modes right there. It's an easy explanation, maybe not so quite easy to understand, but it's all within the same position right there. And the Phrygian one is a perfect example of that, of making it Phrygian dominance. Dominant scale means it's leading to another chord. It's got a functional dominant chord, which a lot of people, think the Mixolydian mode is a dominant chord, which it is a type of dominant chord, but you wouldn't want to play it over this. Wouldn't sound right. It would sound like this. It would sound like a... No, it would not sound good at all over there. If I played it over there, check it out. If I played it. Okay, it just would not work because first of all, it has this major six right there. Number one reason. This major six of this E would make it the A major. That doesn't work. So it's got to be a minor. So it's a dominant chord, but with a minor six. That's a Phrygian dominant. It's a minor. So Phrygian is really just a. It's like a. It's a minor scale. No, it's a major scale with a flat six and a flat two in it. And a raised third. So it's just a dominant scale. It's a I can't even say it. It's a Phrygian mode, but it's a raised third. But it comes from the minor family. So it has that dark sound to it. Minor six with the you hear a lot of metal stuff like this, like that. My attempt to write a metal song right there. So it's got that vibe to it right there, real dark, but then it has the uplifting major third, That's the minor part. But make it major. Very cool. Hopefully you're enjoying this. We're rocking out here today, 1 o'clock, 1:19. We're in a little bit over here. So I just mentioned I do have a guitar course called the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. And I go over 4 important topics: fretboard memorization, The circle of fifths, where all music is basically in that circle right there. Fretboard memorization, I show a way to just easily find all the notes all over the fretboard. I talk a lot about blues soloing, where there's some graphs and backing tracks in there, and the cage system, which shows all the chord shapes all over the fretboard. But I do it in an interesting way with 2-5-1s. So you get the 2-5 and the 1 chord in 5 positions all over the neck, which is really cool. So check that out in the description. I appreciate that for sure. Thank you for that. And thanks for spending some time here with me on a Sunday. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dana Layton and Anthony Farish. Very, very cool. Some new people popping in that I really appreciate. And thank you so much, Jeffrey Boyle and Sergil North for the super chat. Wow, I'm really blown away by that. And Eli and everybody, and Bobby and Justin and Christian from Paraguay. A lot of new people popped in. The Patriots going to destroy us. Well, we'll see. I'm going to check in right now on this game, Bobby, and all you guys for popping in. I really, really appreciate it. This is a hard one right here. It's going to be a little tough struggle for me watching this one back, because I know I hit a lot of clams in there, but I probably should have taken it a little bit slower right there. So the idea of this is there's a lot of work to this, obviously. Practice it slow with a click. Get a metronome, set it to wherever you can get it clean right there, and don't rush it, Lock in your positions, get it clean, focus on your alternate picking, try the different patterns that I was showing you, and have a good time with it, Work on your alternate picking, get your dexterity, right? Get it sounding good, and rock and roll. And also understand the function of it, of how it works. You don't have to do blazing solos over it to understand how important it is to know that you can use it in a simple musical way, and over a very common progression, common cadence, which is that minor and then the 5 chord, dominant chord back to a minor. So have fun with all that. I love you. So remember, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. And if you want to see another video where I show the 5 positions of the harmonic minor, 3 notes per string, put that up there. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great week, and I'll catch you later. Peace, y'all.